Today, my friends, we crack into a Keyforge start... Wait a minute. This isn't a start... What? I got one of these too? Oh! Sweet mumbly jumbly bumbly. Well, we're cracking into this, that's for sure. Let's go! Greetings, hatchlings! It is a glorious day today. Today is the Keyforge day of release. So, I crept out early this morning and I picked up the stuff I prepaid for. Oh, I love boxes. Oh, dude, there's 12 decks just in here. And in here, what's in here? That's what we're here to find out. So let's stop dilly-dallying and start dooey-dallying. Oh, it's the moment I've been waiting for, boys. Here it is. The Keyforge starter box. Let's take a look at the back of the description first of all. Enter a world where anything is possible. In this exciting game where no two decks are alike, two players race to forge keys to unlock the hidden vaults of the Crucible, an artificial world built from pieces of countless planets and civilizations. With an incredible array of creatures, artifacts, and abilities, each deck is one of a kind, and no two battles will ever be the same. The starter contains everything two players need to play, so it includes one Radiant Argus the Supreme deck, one Miss Onyx Sorious deck. For those of you who don't know, those are the two pre-con decks. Every single starter kit will have those two exact decks in them. And then two unique Archon decks. So the other two decks will be different in every single one of these starter kits. You've got 6 key tokens, 26 amber tokens, 22 damage tokens, 10 power status cards, 10 stun status cards, 2 chain tracker. They don't track trains. They track chains. Chain tracker cards and tokens. And 1 quick start rulebook. For those of you who don't know, you can't use dice with this game. You have to use cards or other kind of tokens that can't be manipulated. So, let me just pull this up here because it's going to be easier rather than watching me fumble in front of the camera. Also, that way if the plastic's too strong for me, I don't show my true weakness. Alright, here we go. I've managed to defeat the plastic. So, hopefully my camera on my phone won't be too wonkily donk, because sometimes it likes to act all motion sicknessy. Okay, so here we go. We have got Keyforge Call of the Archons. This is a catalog, okay. Then we have the quick start rules, pretty simple looking right there. And we have I hope that is punched out in the box somewhere, because it looks like I'm missing okay, it's in there, good. Alright, so this is the sheet right here. These ones right here, these are your amber tokens right here. These 2 rings go with your chain tracker. These are the keys. Now, this is enough keys for both players. You have 3 keys for each player. And on one side, you have the colored side. And on the other side, you have kind of the darkened thing. So, as far as I understand, you have these 3 face in front of you. And as you get the keys, you turn them face up to represent that you've actually unlocked the key to get in towards unlocking that forge. Over here, these are the damage counters, because unlike Magic the Gathering, damage stays on creatures and doesn't end up getting healed at the end of turn. So we have all the tokens here, obviously just in one big punch card. I'm not going to bother punching those out. And then in here, we have, here is one of the unique decks. Here is the second of the unique decks. Now, I will not be cracking these open in this video. These will be used for separate videos. Each of these decks will get their own video, which is pretty cool to me. I definitely enjoy the excitingness of going through these decks. So, whether these will be released today or not is up for debate. I'm up in Toronto right now, so we'll see how that goes. Now, let's take a look here. They put both of the precons in one big fat deck. Now, it'll be really, really easy to tell them apart, okay? Because the way that it works here, let's just flip this over for making it easier for me. The way that it works is on the back of every Keyforge deck, you will have this avatar that represents the deck, you will have the name of the deck, and you will have the different groups that the deck is made up of. Now, this is the indicator card that will give you the full card list, so that's why it actually has the names of the groups written. So, Radiant Argus the Supreme is a Logos, Sanctum, and Untamed deck. And the other deck that's in here, we'll take a look at as well. We're going to go through all the stuff that we got in here. So, we've seen all the tokens. Let's just separate out the Radiant deck first. So we'll start with that. Alright, so we've got the Radiant deck here. Now, the way that it works is you have a checklist right here, and this shows you every single card that is actually in the deck. You'll get to see how many copies of it and everything like that. And in terms of the deck itself, boom, right here. This is what the cards look like, right? And on the back, you'll see that it matches. It's very similar to this, but you can see that the groups that you're made up of are at the top, and the name of the deck is on the bottom. Now, you have to play these decks in translucent sleeves. You have to have see-through deck. You're not allowed to change the decks or mix them. Do you see? Do you see the difference here? Miss Onyx's deck has a clearly different avatar in different groups, so you can't mix these. You cannot mix these two decks, and that's why you have to play with see-through sleeves. They're made up of different factions. Now, there's 7 different factions in this game. 7 different houses. I'm not sure what the terminology is, in all honesty, yet, because I am new to this game. Today is the first day it was available. So, I've only played 1 game of this at all, and when I played, I used this deck, I believe. I played the Onyx deck. So, I haven't really seen this deck here. So, what do we have here? You've got Witch of the Eye, which is a 3 power and toughness with a reap ability. For those of you who don't know, reaping means, if you know Magic at all, it's tapping. But you rotate the creature sideways, and you collect a point of amber. Every 6 points of amber equals a key, and you can trade those in at the beginning of your turn to get one of the keys. Once you get 3 keys, you win. So whenever you have 6 amber, you need to let your opponent know that, so they have the chance to try and do something. So, this deck has Witch of the Eye. It has Hunting Witch. Each time you play another creature, gain an amber, and that's a 2 power toughness guy. You got a Nipple Queen, which is a 6 power and toughness guy. Each other beast creature gets +1 power, and each other friendly nipple creature gets +1 power. And the way that you represent that, here, let me get those cards right now, actually, since we're talking about it. They include these cards. Now, you'll see there's ones for +1 power, and you'll see there's ones for stun. And is there a, did I miss the other pile or something like that? Alright, either way, they include the cards that you need. I'm probably getting myself confused. Oh yeah, they both just get power. Never mind. I was looking for defense, but they don't have that because power and defense are wrapped together. Sorry guys, as I said, this is new to me. Okay, so they give you those cards to represent that. So when you have this one out, you would actually take these cards, these +1 powers, and apply them to your other creatures that are getting that bonus. So you get one of those, you get a Nipple Ape. Whenever it attacks, you ignore Taunt and Elusive, which are actually... that's a pretty sweet ability. So you get 2 Nipple Apes. You get a Snuffle Gator. Oh man, the Skirmish ability is crazy. Whenever it's attacking, it takes no damage back. That's pretty nuts. So you get 2 Snuffle Gators. You get a Dust Pixie. Now, Dust Pixie is cool because when you put it out, you gain 2 Amber. If they're Amber up here, you gain that much Amber when those creatures come into play. So it's a very weak creature, but it pays off right when you put it out. Regrowth. This is a spell, just very much like Magic. You get to bring a creature from your discard pile back to your hand. Straightforward. Lost in the Woods. Choose 2 friendly creatures and 2 enemy creatures. Shuffle each creature that was chosen into its owner's deck. Interesting. Very interesting. Full Moon. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 amber each time you play a creature. Wow. Wow, that seems really good, man. You blasted a bunch of creatures. You're going to get a bunch of amber. If you set up for a sick turn with this, it could be pretty gross. You've got Cooperative Hunting. So this one deals 1 damage for each friendly creature in play, and you may divide this damage among any number of creatures. Wow, that seems great too, man. I don't know that much about this game, so I can't really say what the strength levels are of all these cards, but I think some of these are pretty amazing. So Protect the Weak. This creature gets +1 armor and Taunt. Taunt is an interesting ability because it makes it so that you can normally attack any creature directly, but if there's a creature with Taunt, then that creature has to be attacked. And this right here is a Staunch Knight with a armor ability. So when you have a shield here, it reduces the amount of damage creatures take by that much. So we've got a Staunch Knight. It gets +2 power while it's on a flank. Whenever you put creatures out in this game, you have to choose where to put them on the board. You don't get to move them around. So where they're positioned actually is a strategic relevance. Sergeant Zakiel. He may ready and fight with a neighboring creature from any house. Very nice. Normally you can only use 1 house a turn. So that's really solid. Raiding Knight. Play Capture 1. So when you put him out, you steal one of your opponent's amber and you put it on top of him. Remember when I said you need 6 amber to make a key? Well, if your opponent was to say, I have 6 amber, you could put him out on your next turn, take one of the amber from them, and they wouldn't be able to make a key. Now, when they get rid of the creature, they do get that amber back. There are other cards that let you steal amber directly from your opponent and put it in your pool, but Capture is a different ability. Lady Maxina. When you play her, you stun a creature. Yikes. And you can return her to your owner's hand when you feel like it. That seems confusing to me. I'm not sure how that works. That seems kind of gross. Can you just keep replaying it? Maybe you can only do that once a turn. I don't know. Alright, anyways. Champion Anafel. This has Taunt. I hated these Taunt creatures when I played against the guy during the pre-release. It was so annoying. Hollowed Blaster. So this is an artifact weapon. Artifacts stay in play and you can use them every turn. Heal 3 damage. What? Dude, that's awesome. I don't understand how a blaster heals you, but okay. Terms of Redress. Play, choose a friendly creature to capture 2 amber. So you pick one of your creatures and you steal 2 amber while also generating an amber of your own. That seems very solid. Shield of Justice. For the remainder of the turn, each friendly creature cannot be dealt damage. Well now, all your guys can't take damage all turn? That's nuts. This deck seems great. Cleansing Wave. Play, heal 1 damage from each creature, gain 1 amber for each creature healed this way. What? Dude, you can heal all your dudes and... Oh, wow. Oh, and there's multiples in here. What? Mother. During your draw card step, refill your hand to 1 additional card. What? She increases your hand size. Awesome. Quixo the Adventurer. Skirmish, so it takes no damage when it's fighting, and when you fight with it, you get to draw a card? Boy, that seems good. Dr. Escotera. Play, gain 1 amber for each forged key your opponent has. Huh. Well, that seems okay. I mean, it can only give you 2 amber at most. Not that exciting. Doc Bookton. Reap, draw a card. Oh, guys, I made a terrible mistake when I was playing the first time. I thought Reap meant you had to choose one or the other, where you decide, am I going to get an amber, or do I use this ability? But no, it means when you're reaping to gain amber, you also get to do this. So when you use this character to get an amber, you also get to draw a card. That's solid. Bat Drone. Oh, this thing's annoying, man. It's got skirmish, so it takes no damage when it fights. And when you actually send it into fight, you get to steal one of your opponent's amber. I went nuts trying to wipe this thing out during our game. Oh, there's multiples in here. Dirty, dirty. Library of Babel. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Babbling. All right. It's a location. Interesting. Okay. So this is an artifact that lets you draw a card each turn. That seems okay. Wild Wormhole. Look at that artwork. Look at the guy. He's getting sucked in there. You'll notice that guy on the poster. Play the top card of your deck no matter what house it's from. Oh, that's fun. I like that. I love the random nature of it. Twin Bolt Emission. Deal 2 damage to a creature and deal 2 damage to a different creature. Solid. Because damage sticks around, so that's totally worth it. Man, oh man. Library Access. For the remainder of the turn... Oh, sorry man. Knocking the camera around here. For the remainder of the turn, each time you play another card, draw a card. What? Wow, man. It's good that your deck is made up of 3 houses, or that could get really dirty and you could chain into a lot of cards. And then we've got Dimension Door. For the remainder of your turn, any amber you would gain from reaping is stolen from your opponent instead. Whoa, are you kidding me? That's amazing. That is amazing. What? Man, I don't even know it was fully in the deck that I played. So let's take a look at Miss Onyx Sorious and see what cards we're getting in here too. Because I will remember some of these guys, and I'll have my own personal opinions about them. This guy is cool. I like the Urchin. I mean, he's elusive, so he's hard to wipe out. And as soon as you play him, you get to steal one of your opponent's amber. These guys, the house with these little shadow faces, are really good at swiping amber. So you get 2 of those guys. Silvertooth. I never got this guy. He enters the play ready? That's cool. Normally, creatures come into play unready, tapped, turned to the side. So, Shadow Self. This one I found really funky, because if you look at it, it's a 9 power, and it can't actually deal damage when fighting, but he takes the damage for his neighbors instead, so he soaks up all the damage. That's a funky concept. You've got Dodger, who I absolutely love. Whenever you fight, you steal one of your opponent's amber. Totally down with that. Naughty the Thief. Love him. You can steal... action, steal 1, and elusive, so they've got to attack him with at least 2 creatures to even be able to damage him. You got Bad Penny. I don't think I ever got her. Destroyed. Return Bad Penny to your hand. Whoa, she keeps coming back? Cool. Kind of looks like an Overwatch character or something. Alright, Seeker Needle. This one I thought was a spell when I had it in my first game. I didn't realize it was an artifact that would do damage every turn, and I also didn't know that damage stuck around. So I did not take nearly as much advantage of this, and the fact that you can do 1 damage that builds up, but also whenever it destroys a creature you get an amber, makes this thing seem really good to me. Alright friends, had a slight disturbance that meant I had to pause for a moment, so we're back at it. Too much to protect. Play. Steal all but 6 of your opponents. This I got too early in the game and didn't realize how awesome it would be later on, so I ended up getting rid of it, but if I had kept it, it probably would have helped me win the game. This seems like a really, really solid card. There's only 1 copy in the deck. Poison Wave. 2 damage to every creature. Alright. Nerve Blast. Steal one of your opponent's amber. If you do 2 damage to a creature. Wow, I never got this. That's dirty. And there's 2 and I never got 1? That sucks. Alright, now we're moving into the next house here. Toxin. So, Reap, your opponent discards a card at random from their hand. This is the one that brutalized me. I thought I had to choose between my opponent discarding a card or getting the Amber, so I didn't get a bunch of Amber I was supposed to. Alright. The Terror. If your opponent has no Amber, gain 2. That is great. So good if you get it at the beginning. Stealer of Souls. After an enemy creature is destroyed, fighting seal destroys. Purge that creature and gain an Amber. A purged creature was removed from the game, so there's no way to get it back. Schuler. Play if your opponent has 4 Amber or more, steal 1. I gotta say, I found this guy to be underwhelming and under-impressive to me. Dust Imp. This, on the other hand, I really like. It's just a guy you can throw away without worrying about it, because when he gets wiped out, you gain 2 Amber. That's so dope. And there's multiple copies, you get 2 of them. Then you've got Charette. Play, capture 3 Amber. So you take 3 of your opponent's Amber. That's a massive amount. Obviously, they get it back if they wipe them out. Dominator Bauble. This one's fun. As an action, you use a friendly creature. That's neat. I genuinely enjoy that. Mind Barb. When you play this, your opponent discards a card at random. Honestly, this is okay because it gives you an Amber, but because your opponent can refill their hand every turn, the discard doesn't feel as strong in this game. It's kind of, I don't know how consequential it is, but it doesn't feel very consequential. Hand of Dis. I like this. Destroy a creature that's not on a flank. So you can destroy any creature that's not on either end of your opponent's board. Definitely got use out of that. Fear. Return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. That's fantastic as well. I really enjoyed that card. And then we move into Brognar. These are like the big beater, like we only care about fighting guilds. This creature gets +5 power. So this is an upgrade that you attach to a creature, and it cranks its power up by 5. It's pretty impressive. I had a 10 power dude with this. Smash! Look at this. When this guy comes into play, you stun a creature. Stunning is a pretty powerful effect. I love this guy. In fact, he's the guy that I gave +5 power to. He became a 10 power. Headhunter. Every time he fights, you gain an Amber. And you will see the Brobnar guys have big numbers on them, 5s and stuff. It's all about fighting. And there's multiple copies of the Headhunter. Gangler Chieftain. This guy's awesome, man. You put him out, and when you put him out, you can ready whoever's beside him and send that guy in for combat. So you can do some serious damage. I played multiple of these guys in one turn, and it was amazing. Valder is one that I was just not that stoked about. It gets +2 damage while attacking an enemy creature on the flank, but overall I found this to not be as exciting to me. Gauntlet of Command. Dudes, I played this as a spell. I didn't realize it was an artifact that would stay in place, so I played it one time and put it in my discard instead of using it turn after turn. Oh my god. Somebody actually cracked a deck. Somebody cracked a random deck while we were there that had 3 copies of it in the same deck, which seems insane to me. You can get 3 extra attacks in one turn, every turn, out of your guys. War Song. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 Amber each time a friendly creature fights. This is dirty. When you have a bunch of stuff that lets you fight more and add on top of this guy, fight more, this gets absolutely out of control. I love this card. Punch. Deal 3 damage to a creature. Straightforward. I never actually got that. This is a burn spell. I'm down with that. I never saw this either. Loot the bodies. Play. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 Amber each time an enemy creature is destroyed. Oh yeah. That's great, man. I never got to see this stuff because I didn't own the starter kit that we played with at the pre-release. And Anger. Ready and fight with a friendly creature. I like spells like this. I like the Brobnar. It's I'm just going to keep punching until you stop moving. So that covers both of the decks. We already went through these cards, I believe. We've got the power cards. We've got the stun cards. When this creature's used, it does nothing other than discard all stun counters on it. So it makes it so they can't use the creature the turn after it's been stunned. And here we have the chain tracker. And that's kind of a more complicated concept in the game where depending on the number of chains that you have, it will diminish your hand size by this amount. So if you have a chain of up to 6, your hand size is decreased by 1, and it goes up like that. And an interesting feature of this game is as tournament results come in and decks are shown to be more powerful, they will start to end up with a handicap based on this. This is designed to help not only balance out certain cards you're playing in games, but also to balance out the power level of decks overall in the tournament structure. And I find that to be an incredibly interesting concept. So at this point, we've taken a look at everything. If you wanted to see the cardboard again, just to go over what that was again, these are your keys. This is what Amber looks like. And these are your damage tokens right here, okay? Nice and straightforward. And then up here in the corner, these little circles that pop out are used with the chain part. So, that is a full unboxing aside from actually looking at the rules, but I figure we're going to go ahead and do a video where we talk about how to play Keyforge, how all this works, so I don't really need to go into detail with that. And also, I personally need to make sure I understand all the rules fully before I try and explain them to you guys. So, I hope that you found that interesting. I do have both of these, and guys, I bought a full box of 12 more of these. So each of these decks will get their own separate video where we go through and appreciate everything that is available within them, because they will all be random, and I'm so excited. But unfortunately, guys, I have to be heading off to Toronto, and I got to get this finished up real quick, so I got to get out of here. So I'm going to toss it back over to me, and we'll wrap this video up. Well, that was quite the adventure, my friends. So what's going to be next? I clearly haven't opened up the sealed decks that came along, the non-pre-constructed ones. Those are still sealed. Now, the question is, when are those coming out? Well, I'm in Toronto today. That's why I had to record this early. I am at a party, a YouTube party. I might even be there right now, depending on what time you're watching this. So there'll be some streams and some fun stuff going on while I'm up in Toronto today. So keep your eyes nice and wide to see what's hatching. Am I going to put up more of these decks today? Who knows? But I'll tell you what I do know. We have 14 different unique Keyforge decks, everyone deserving of its own particular video. We have done pack-a-day videos, but we have never done deck-a-day videos. What do you guys think about the idea of a ton of those? And not just that. You know, I'm not just going to do Keyforge for the next couple of weeks, boys. You don't know what's coming, but it won't just be this, because I can't quit you. And I don't even wish I could quit you. So that being said, let us check in with the hatchlings.
Ele bate no bumbo e você sente no peito. Esse é o Blade Head, fazendo efeito. Toda porrada que entra no beat da guitarra. Happy rock and roll, esconderia, hardcore e raga. Acho lendário mesmo, bebendo cana. O grito vem na rua, movido a marihuana. Tem que fazer, deixa eu falar a verdade. É como se tu bem, só com sangue bom aqui na cidade. Sobre aquele sangue bom. Rio de Janeiro, terra do samba, do rap, do reggae, do rock, do rag e do pandeiro. Eu canto o que eu falo o que eu quero. Qual o problema? Me conta,